Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm in the process of hooking up these brackets to this plate here on this Delta Unisaw. This is how the table is attached to this end of the Unisaw, the extension table. So I've got this plate here that's bolted onto the side, but then you have these little brackets that attach with, I guess they're these carriage bolts. They're squared off on the ends here, and then I purchased these corner brackets. The original hardware, I don't recall what happened. I think the top that I had made previously was particle board, and it had swollen. It got wet or something like that, and I think all the hardware rusted. I really don't have a clue. I don't recall what happened to that. So I'm making a new top here that I want to laminate, but I'm getting this hardware just from Home Depot, and this is what I believe was on there before. So I'm drilling holes out to accommodate these bolts, but then the square protrudes just enough that it interferes with being able to tighten this bracket flush against this plate here, so I'm having to file. I've got a square file out the hole, and I might have to open them up a little bit more to give me some leverage or some adjustment room, because I need the 3/4 inch here, and then with a laminate, and I want this flush, and I need to be able to, actually this might give me just enough leverage here to do some fine adjustment, so maybe I don't have to do that. But yeah, I need to make the brackets, open up the holes a little bit, and then file them. 3 more brackets. I just finished this one here. So I need to build myself a bench. I don't have a bench as of right now. This vise used to be attached to a bench that I took apart and threw away. So just have it on the floor here. I'll put the corner bracket in. And then I'm filing it. Square off the hole here. Yeah, so now I can get the bolt in there. It seats itself flush. Now I just have to do 2 more. So these just attach. That. I don't think I need that washer, but put that on. So now I can put this plate back on. Now on the layout, you have to, because this protrudes up into the wood area, you have to route out a slot to accommodate these bolts on the edge of the 3/4 inch particle board. So it just sits like that. Okay, I have the 3/4 inch particle board up on the table saw, and I have some boards underneath supporting the overlap here that I'm going to be cutting off so it doesn't just drop to the floor. Got a brand new blade in my old saw here, and should be all set to go. This is 27 inches wide and 48 inches long, so I just need to cut 27-inch piece off of this particle board for the top of the extension table. So that's the extension piece right there that I just cut. It's 27 by 48. And so these here are the legs that go to one end. And then I have these brackets I have to attach to that 3/4 inch particle board. And then the unifence attaches to that. So the particle board gets mounted here, but you can see those bolts interfere, so I have to cut slots in the bottom to accommodate those bolts so I can mount this flush against the table saw top there. And I want to put a laminate on top of this. So these are the dimensions of that top that I just cut. Now they only have 3 brackets, so I can take probably one of the brackets off. I don't know, I can keep, if I have 2 in the center there, it'd be a lot more support. You can see here, this is what I need to do underneath the particle board, 3/4 inch. I need to cut a slot 11/16 deep, and then or wide, and then 1/2 inch deep. So that's the opposite side where the legs get attached. It's going to look like this. And then I have to put those pieces of angle iron along the sides. I already have the bottom shelf made up, so that's all set to go. Yeah, so making some progress on getting my extension table set up on my Unisaw. So I've got it marked off. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to do a little at a time instead of doing the full 1/2 inch depth. So these are the 3 pockets to accommodate those bolts. So now this can butt up against the table saw. Now I have to drill 11 9/16 holes by 5/8 deep. So I put a piece of tape on the drill bit and we'll drill the holes. So I might have to adjust this because the placement of these legs doesn't seem to be ideal for the mobile stand. It seems to be on the edge of the bottom supports there for these legs, but I'll give it a try. So these are number 14 by 3/4 inch hex slot sheet metal screws, and I need to put these side supports on. These braces prevents the table from sagging in the middle. So I went ahead and bought this sheet of frosted white laminate. I'll use this for the the extension table top here. It's too cold in the cellar. I think I'm going to have to apply the contact cement in the house. I think it has to be above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So I need to cut this. I bought a pair of shears that would, I don't know if I could have used just regular scissors. They were $28. And I'll cut this to length, a little bit over, so there's some overhang. So then I can use a router bit to trim off the edges flush with the particle board. So this says 48 by 96, but it's actually 49 inches wide. They must do that on purpose so you can laminate a sheet of plywood or particle board, which is 48 inches. So these are the shears. Okay. That's interesting. I wasn't certain how this was going to open up. Huh. Is that so you can go along the bottom of the smooth surface? Well, let's try these out. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, it does make a cracking sound while it's cutting. Well, I could see how the laminate, the way this is designed, the shears don't catch on the laminate. I don't know if I'm making a straight line here or not. I have to force my... Oh, I see. It takes out a big... That's interesting. Where does that material go? Oh, it's underneath there. Huh. So it has two cuttings. Oh, I didn't see the thickness of that. It's actually thick, so it has two cutting edges. It's not just a sharpened blade. So it's almost like the thickness of a saw blade, causing a little bit of chip out on the other end. But that's why you have the overhang, so when you use the router, you route off those imperfections and go right to the edge. It's like a round over bit. So get back to the line here. So I'm at the other end now. I can't really stretch over this piece, so I'm going backwards here. Okay, so that's one piece. Now, since it is colder, I'm bringing all these pieces up into the house, get them acclimated. I've got the contact cement in the house to bring it up to temperature. All right, so I have the top table section and the bottom shelf piece I redid and laminated the top of that. I put a coat of paint on the bottom and along the edges. I don't want to laminate the edges. That must be pretty difficult to do. And I just want to route out the excess here with a round over bit. And I want to practice first. So I have this piece of particle board, and I already have the round over bit. Just want to make sure I have the right amount showing. Hopefully this isn't going to chip out the laminate either. So let's give this a try. So that seems to be right. Very slight round over on the edge there. Not taking out a lot of material, but that hopefully is just right for removing the laminate there and rounding off the edge. I'll give that a try. So I'll try the lower shelf piece first in case I mess up. I guess I can bring this in. So that's acceptable. There's a little bit of irregularity in this edge here because of the roughness of the edge of the particle board. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but this isn't, you know, furniture. It's a work surface. Might have to just touch that up a little bit with some paint. I want to repaint that. So let me go ahead and finish this shelf off and then get started on the tabletop, on the bench top. So I can put the legs on again. You can see I painted the bottom. So that's what I have now. Got a nice laminated top for the unifence to slide on. I did make a mistake when I was routing the round over here. I forgot that this side had the notches on it. So the router ball bearing went into the groove, and I felt I was taking out a lot more material than I should, and then realized that I had the two notches in there, so I had to be careful when I came to the next two that I wasn't applying a pressure against the edge of the particle board, and sort of just glided over till I got to solid material again. So it doesn't look too bad. So gives it character, I guess. So a little mistake there on my part, but nice smooth laminate. Then I'm going to have the white shelf on the bottom. Now I just need to get this bottom shelf unit attached, if I can. So that's what I have so far. I've got the bottom shelf laminated and the tabletop laminated. I just need to fine tune this because I don't have the original hardware, the brackets to attach the extension table to the Unisaw. I have to figure out how I'm going to pull this together, get everything to line up, have this flush so it doesn't interfere with the fence, but for now, made some progress. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe and or comment, and thanks for watching.